Every night you make yourself the same promise. Tomorrow everything changes. Tomorrow you wake up early. Tomorrow you stop wasting time. Tomorrow you finally become the person who gets things done. But tomorrow never actually arrives, it just keeps sliding forward. And every time it does, a quiet, dangerous thought creeps in. Maybe I'm just not that person. Maybe discipline is something other people are born with and I'm not. If that thought has ever crossed your mind, this isn't a productivity problem. It's an identity problem. And that's exactly why nothing you've tried has stuck. The truth is, you don't actually hate hard work. You've proven that before. There were nights you stayed up before an exam. Moments you pushed through exhaustion because someone needed you. Days you surprised even yourself with what you were capable of. So if discipline were truly missing, how did those moments happen? The real problem isn't that you can't be disciplined, it's that discipline only shows up when life forces it out of you. The second the pressure disappears, so does your consistency. That cycle is exhausting. First comes the spark. You watch a motivational video. You buy a new notebook. You build the perfect schedule. For a day, maybe 3, you feel unstoppable. Then one bad morning happens. You wake up late. You miss a workout. You lose an hour scrolling. And your brain whispers, well, I already messed up. Somehow one slip turns into a week. Then a month. And you're back at the starting line, wondering why you keep sabotaging yourself. The hardest part isn't failing. The hardest part is watching yourself slowly become someone you swore you'd never be. You start avoiding mirrors not because of how you look, but because of how you feel. Every unfinished goal becomes another piece of evidence stacked against you. You stop trusting your own word. When you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow, another voice answers immediately, yeah, sure you will. That loss of self-trust hurts more than the failure itself. Here's something most people never realize. Your brain doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about keeping you comfortable. Think about it. Every habit you have today, even the bad ones, exists because your brain learned it takes the least amount of energy. Scrolling takes almost no effort. Another episode takes almost no effort. Sleeping in feels safe. Avoiding hard work protects you from the risk of failing. Your brain isn't trying to ruin your life. It's trying to conserve energy. It was built for survival, not for success. That's why waiting to feel motivated almost never works. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is mechanical. One runs on feelings. The other runs on systems. Imagine only brushing your teeth when you felt inspired to. It sounds absurd because brushing became automatic years ago. You don't debate it every morning. You don't negotiate with yourself. You just do it. Real discipline feels exactly like that. Not exciting. Not dramatic. Just normal. But social media has sold us a different picture, that disciplined people leap out of bed every morning bursting with energy like there's epic music playing in the background. Reality looks nothing like that. Disciplined people don't win because they feel different. They win because they argue with themselves less. While you're spending 20 minutes deciding whether to start, they've already started. That's the hidden advantage. Less negotiation. More action. Every time you negotiate with yourself, your brain goes looking for the easier option. Maybe I'll start after lunch. Tomorrow will probably be better. I should wait until I have more energy. These thoughts feel reasonable because they're designed to protect your comfort. But every negotiation makes hesitation a little stronger. Discipline begins exactly where negotiation ends. This doesn't mean being harsh with yourself. In fact, a lot of people fail because they're too harsh. They build impossible routines. Wake up at 5 a.m., read 50 pages. Work out for 2 hours. Eat perfectly. Learn a new skill. Put in 10-hour days. For someone starting from zero, that's like asking someone who's never touched a weight to deadlift 500 pounds on day one. Failure is almost guaranteed. And then they blame themselves instead of blaming the plan. If you're starting from zero, your first goal isn't to become productive. It's to become reliable. There's a real difference. Productive people get a lot done. Reliable people keep the promises they make to themselves. And reliability always has to come first. Start with something so small your excuses sound ridiculous. 1 push-up. 5 minutes of reading. Writing 1 sentence. Cleaning 1 corner of your room. It'll feel too easy. That's the entire point. Because you're not training your muscles. You're training your identity. Every time you complete that tiny action, your brain quietly rewrites the story it believes about you. I'm someone who follows through. That sentence changes everything. Most people chase confidence first. But confidence doesn't create action. Action creates confidence. Think about a kid learning to ride a bike. They don't wait until they feel confident to get on. Confidence shows up after dozens of wobbly attempts, scraped knees, and small wins. Adults forget this. We expect confidence to arrive before the effort. Life works the other way around. Another mistake people make is believing discipline means never failing. It doesn't. Disciplined people skip workouts too. They procrastinate too. They get distracted too. They have lazy days too. The difference is what happens next. Most people miss 1 day and emotionally check out. Disciplined people miss 1 day and show up the next. That's the whole difference. The gap isn't perfection. It's recovery. Picture drawing a straight line across a page. If your hand slips for a second, do you throw the whole page away? Of course not. You just keep drawing. Treat your habits the same way. 1 bad day isn't your identity. It's just 1 bad day. Here's another truth you might not want to hear. Sometimes the problem isn't a lack of discipline. You're avoiding discomfort. Because discipline isn't really about waking up early or working harder. It's about becoming okay with feeling uncomfortable. Boredom, frustration, uncertainty. Those feelings aren't signs you're doing something wrong. They're signs you're growing. Every goal worth having requires spending time in emotions your brain naturally wants to escape. The person who can sit with that wins. Not because they're stronger. Because they stopped running. Try a simple experiment. The next time you feel the urge to quit, don't act on it right away. Just notice it. Sit with it for 60 seconds. Watch the discomfort the way you'd watch rain hit a window. You'll notice something interesting. Feelings rise. Then they fall. Most cravings, excuses, and urges are temporary. But because we've trained ourselves to react instantly, they end up controlling us instead. Create 1 minute of space between feeling and action. That tiny gap is where discipline is actually born. You don't need to become a completely different person. You don't need a new personality. You don't need perfect mornings or endless motivation. What you need is evidence. Small repeated evidence that you can keep 1 promise. Then another. Then another. Eventually something shifts. You stop asking, "Can I actually do this?" Because you've already answered the question. Not with words. With actions. One day you'll look back and realize there was no dramatic turning point. No magical morning when everything suddenly got easy. There were just hundreds of small decisions nobody clapped for. Choosing to start. Choosing to keep going. Choosing not to quit. Over and over. People will call it discipline. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't built in 1 giant leap. It was built in moments so small they barely seemed to matter. Until eventually they did. So stop waiting for some future version of yourself to come and save you. That person doesn't show up first. That person is built by the choices you make today. Every excuse you ignore. Every small promise you keep. Every time you choose action over comfort, you're casting a vote for the person you're becoming. The life you want isn't hiding behind some perfect version of you. It's hiding behind your next decision. Make it count. Because one day you'll either remember this as just another video you watched, or as the day you finally stopped waiting and started becoming the person you always hoped you could be.